What's going on, YouTube? JT Born here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batman and Robin, issue number 18. This one's written by Philip Kennedy Johnson with art by Javier Fernandez and was it Miguel Mendonca, or however you pronounce it, who worked on some of the artwork in this issue. And this one's continuing the events of the Memento storyline. This is part 5. So far, I have been really enjoying what Philip Kennedy Johnson has been doing with the title. At first, I was feeling, there's a little bit of regression here, but then there was kind of an explanation for some aspects of it too. And the Memento stuff is pretty good. You have this kind of like Doom that came to Gotham sort of vibe with it. Like Memento kind of looks like the Crooked Man, mixed in with the Babadook with his design. You have the Gravedigger's Poppy stuff, which is very essence like a scarecrow type thing. And you have Batman working with Jason. You have Damian kind of questioning himself kind of after what happened to that little girl Emma within the first or second issue, which was a surprising kind of like reveal in it. And that's really just kind of weighing on him quite heavily in this thing. And, Bruce is still not all there right now because he's feeling with the effects. It also kind of ties into a case that he had in his past when he was younger. You have the detective there, and like one of his former mentors we've come to find out was framed for the Memento killings that went on in the past. And there's some really good stuff in here. But then they do something that kind of left me a little frustrated. It's like an annoying story trope that I don't like, and we'll get into that like in a second. So it's the one thing, like the book was going so well, and then they had to throw this in there that just definitely brings the issue down for me in that regard. So after the Memento thing where he attacked the dock a couple issues back, basically kind of initiated a gang war. And so Bruce is working with Jason to kind of stop a lot of the stuff. Memento's out there. Damian as Robin is working with, Lautrec or whatever, like the other detective who Bruce knew when they were younger. They both mentored under the same guy, Bly or whatever it was, the Scotland Yard guy. And so he's off doing that. There's a little bit of tension between the two of them, but in a little bit of a different sense compared to like where they at, like when, Damian left being Robin for like a little bit in that terrible Teen Titans book, and then had to go back and like kind of rebuild himself under Williamson. And now there's a different kind of tension between the two of them where he's just not sure of exactly what he wants to do. Like if they actually sat down and talked like long form about things, it'd probably be better off. But, Damian's still a little bit more mature in like his lashing out and things compared to where it was before. He's really feeling like insignificant, kind of weak after what happened to that little girl. That's really playing a factor into him. So, and even Jason talks about like how all the vigilantes kind of went through like this at one point. They had I think they call it like a Harvey type moment where something has really just kind of lingered in, affected them for quite a while. He talks about his story and all that too. So I like all that stuff. And again, like, investigating the crime scene right here, they do find Damian does, like, we do get to see Damian's compassion for animals. Like he sees one of this monkey that was experimented on that kind of clings to him, and of course he's going to take care of her and like adopt her like he does with all of his other pets. So I always like that aspect. There's one thing about Damian that's one of my favorite characteristics about him is his love and compassion towards animals. So him and the detective working together, she's like, you should be like doing other stuff tonight. You should be out in the field doing this stuff. You're just a kid. You're not ready to make this decision stuff. Like you should be kind of like making a decision like this to go out into the field like this when you're older and, you've seen a lot and like ready to do so. And that's starting to add the tension of like, does Damian really want to be doing this stuff anymore after what happened with the girl? And then he hears something else like later on the issue. So Bruce and Jason work together, and then something kind of goes wrong and they kind of get into a scuffle. We do find out that Professor Bly had died, but he was accused of the Memento killings. But Bruce back in the day knows it wasn't him because he saw Memento in him, but like he went under a fake alias, so he was there illegally, so he couldn't exactly like go on the stand to help defend him. So it just kind of had to be the case with that too. So as Damian, the detective were talking, and like somebody's there as well, Damian saves her. Sort of like she gets kind of knocked down. So it's kind of playing into the factor too. Like Damian's been like unable to save people clearly from being attacked above, but eventually, like I said, like you see somebody kind of running with the formula and all that too. And he goes to try and help this one, like, Lautrec or whatever. And he tries to call on Batman for help, but he jumps in the middle. This is the worst part of the issue for me. He jumps in the middle of this conversation that he hears where, you don't know what Robin is capable of. But based on grades and all that, he's unremarkable at best. So Damian hears the part where he's like, Bashar is responsible for some things. Damian is, like, unremarkable at best and all that. He gives up the mask, I'll lose him. So all this other stuff or whatever, like, just frustrates Damian because he doesn't listen to the full context. It's the whole misunderstanding trope in the storyline, which I just don't like. It didn't need that in the storyline, because then they're going to come to, like, oh, I really mean this, son, and all that too. Just, it feels kind of forced, and it's not really necessary. You can still have Damian questioning a lot of the stuff, but this is just to kind of push, like, him forward into, like, not wanting to be, like, Robin anymore necessarily, and I don't buy that's going to be the case. He'll still stick around, because if he doesn't, it's like, you just started this book, Philip Kennedy Johnson. Why are you getting rid of Batman and Robin? What are you going to retitle it to, Batman and somebody else, or are you just going to have somebody else come in as Robin? Like, you're taking over a Bruce and Damian focused book and then just pushing Damian off to the side. So, like, I just don't see him, like, wanting to leave the mantle, because that's the big cliffhanger type ending. He's like, Dr. Spar does see value in me, unlike you, father. So he's going to apply to the hospital youth program to work there where Thomas Wayne works. Then I'm going to do what you couldn't do. I'm going to catch Memento. And then after that, I don't want to be Robin anymore. So Bruce kind of gets that look too. So again, Bruce is still under the influence of a lot of stuff. And there's some tension going on between the two of them. And that one right there, like, not hearing the full context of things, like, instead of Damian, like, lashing out and fighting, he's like, I'm just done with all this crap. I don't want to do it anymore. So the effects of what happened to that little girl is still playing a factor into him. But the forced tension by him, like, not listening to the full context of things, I just didn't really like at all. And Damian wanting to leave Robin after doing that, like, not even, like, a few years ago, it's just, it's a little bit annoying in that regards, because the story was going on pretty good, with this run so far, but that's just the forced tension in there, the misunderstanding stuff, it's story tropes that I don't like too much. I mean, because it's like, it's a misunderstanding, and it's not even like a well-orchestrated thing or anything like that. It's just he jumps in the comms, like, mid-conversation. I heard this in the freaking Mighty Ducks when Gordon Bombay is talking to, like, Coach Riley, and he's like, that's right, Coach, we are losers, and we are these other things that you don't like. But the kids just heard, like, oh, we're losers and all that. That means he hates us and he thinks we're worthless or something, but he was really speaking sarcastically. It's just meant to add some, like, added tension before he realizes, no, you do mean a bit, you're more worthwhile and all that too. And, Damian wants to, like, stop being Robin supposedly to kind of prove to his father that he is worthwhile or something. It's just dumb. Like, that's a dumb story trope. That brings the issue down for me, especially consider, like, how good the other stuff was in, the last couple of issues and this thing going. That's the one part where I'm just like, come on, you can do better than that. So, but other than that, like I said, there's still some good stuff in here. It's just that story trope I don't genuinely like at all. I don't see Damian, like, really leaving the Robin mantle. That's just, like, forced draw. If they legit did, it'd be a dumb way to kind of, like, end it all over a misunderstanding or whatnot. So, again, it's just part of the story meant to add some tension, and I'm sure they'll reconcile and all that too. But that was just a bit where I'm just like, oh, come on, we're better than this. We don't need this lame-ass story trope in here to kind of bring it down. But those are just my opinions. Like I said, there's still some solid stuff in here. Artwork by the two artists on here is exceptionally good, and there's still some cool stuff with Memento, and the stuff with Jason talking about how every Robin has a specific type of moment within their lives. I like that a lot, but I hated that story trope where it's like the misunderstanding like this. So it's just the way it's done, and not hearing the full context of things just brings it down a little bit for me. But yeah, so those are my thoughts on the issue. What did you all think of it? Post your comments down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to your channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all the fun stuff. And I got some more DC comic reviews coming out this week, so stay tuned for all those, and a special video that I'm working on to get out by Valentine's Day. So can't wait for you all to see that. But anyways, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace out.